And if you walk to the Xfinity event tonight, I want to know who you are tomorrow, because you will be considered hardy. It's cold, really cold. So I am Dave Burns, privileged to be here this afternoon representing NBC Sports, and looking forward to our NASCAR coverage on NASCAR America Daily, and then in July when we start going racing. So pleased to be back with my friends there. And very privileged to help with the Team Penske media presentation this afternoon, talking about looking ahead to the year that we have. So before we do that, let's look. Actually, you know what? While I'm speaking right now, I do need the members of the panel to start walking up here. We're going to join us here, and we'll introduce them in just a minute. They're going to get a good look at what they did in 2014, but I think Roger Penske is one of those guys that doesn't want to dwell too much on what we've done in the past. He's going to look forward to what they have to do in the future. So as they take their seat, let's take a look back at their success in 2014.
Served for Brad Keselowski, who has picked up his third win of 2014.
Hole in one for the captain. Checkered flag for Keselowski. Wow, what a weekend. Wow.
Checkered flag and a win at Bristol to Joey Logano in the night race. Fourth victory of the year for Brad Keselowski. He'll be the #1 seed in the chase for the NASCAR Sprint Cup.
Not too bad. I think we did a little bit of looking back, a little bit of looking forward. And thank you, team, for being here today. We know the media appreciates you guys being here. I'd like to introduce the participants on stage here, even though you know who they are. Roger Penske, the founder and chairman of the Penske Corporation. Walt Zarnecki, next to him, executive vice president of Penske Corporation and vice chairman of Penske Racing. And next to them, Tim Cindric, president of Penske Racing. Driver of the #2 Sprint Cup car, Brad Keselowski, Michigan's own. And the #22 Sprint Cup car driver, Joey Logano from Middletown, Connecticut. And I believe High Point, North Carolina is correct for Ryan Blaney, even though the family, yeah, sort of. But Ohio is the native land for the Blaneys there. We welcome Brian Blaney as well. So, guys, thanks for being here once again. The other attendees from Penske that are here today, they're not up here today, but you might get a chance to talk to them. Travis Geisler, the competition director, is around, as are crew chiefs Paul Wolf and Todd Gordon, and Greg Irwin for the Xfinity Series this year. So make sure you get a chance to chat with them as well. So, Mr. Penske, was I right? The look back is good, but we want to look forward. Is that right?
Well, when I think about 2014, it was really a year we'll remember, because it's probably the most successful season we've had, both on the NASCAR side and on the IndyCar side, with a total of 22 wins. But to me, the key thing was the continuity, the drivers, the crew chiefs, the team, and the sponsors that you saw in this recent video. So, we need that as we go forward. I think we're strong as we go into 2015. It's amazing in this world today that we can say that all of our sponsors have renewed with us to go forward on multiple-year contracts, which gives us a great base to build on as we go into the future. But great wins, some tough racing. Both cars right down to the end there for as far as the chase. Joey got in. Obviously, we didn't get what we wanted, but I thought the format was outstanding. The numbers that I've seen, from NASCAR, on the media, and also the fan base has just been outstanding. So for me, great year for Team Penske, and no question, for our partner at Ford coming there, we think about it. We've been with them 2 years now, and we've had over 15 wins each year with the Ford Motor Company. That's a pretty good start for us. So we've got a lot to live up to as we go forward next year.
You mentioned the 22 wins, and as an organization, of those 11 were Sprint Cup wins, Roger. You introduced the Team Penske concept last year. It was supposed to be a cohesive thread throughout the organization, and all last season, the number 2 and the number 22 teams were really recognized for working together. So how important is that to Team Penske and your success going forward?
Well, as we look back, and we had the team up north, the IndyCar team, we had the team down south, and at the end of the day, I think Tim Cindric said it should be Team Penske. And quite honestly, with 45,000 employees around the world, people associate, with the team, and we thought that that was the way to brand ourselves as we go forward, not only for us, but our sponsors wanted that. But to me, that teamwork paid off. The way Joey and Brad worked together, the crew chiefs, certainly Todd and Paul, and just the rest of the team, was outstanding. So to me, it's the right logo. It stands for quality. It stands for many years of racing, and to me, it's going to be the foundation and base for us in 2015.
And most of us got it right on the air most of the time last year, so we'll keep trying for that for 100% this year. So,
thank you.
Team Penske, a great concept. Walt, the coming season, you have formed a technical alliance with Wood Brothers Racing, and our driver down there in the end, he gets to double dip here in the media room today, so I know he's really excited about that. But we look at that and we know, yeah, was that a sense of excitement? We know how successful you all have been, and the Wood Brothers, but they're a smaller team, and so the give and take there, some of us would look at it and say there's a lot more give from you guys, and yet with both your former crew chief Jeremy Bullins being over there now, and Ryan, who's driven in your organization, don't you expect to get quite a bit back from that team as well?
Yeah, I think that's a fair statement, Dave, but before I begin, I just want to thank everybody for being here. As I was sitting here as I came up, I couldn't help but think it wasn't too many weeks ago we met in Homestead, so time has gone by very quickly and we're ready to go again. But back to the matter at hand. Yeah, we're really looking forward to this association, not only with the team, but with the personalities there, with Eddie and Len, Glenn, of course, and Leonard, who we've known for a long time. But we really view this as an opportunity to enhance the overall technical prowess of both teams. We'll be sharing a lot of technical information, working with them clearly with Jeremy and Corey Tucker, who will be the car chief, who's also been with Team Penske. The shock person who's also been associated with us, Darcy. We see a very clear avenue and channel of communications with both them, enhancing both teams, and overall enhancing the Ford effort on the racetrack.
And also, Walt, this year, one of the longest-running sponsors in NASCAR is in motorsports, actually, is going to celebrate a milestone with your team. How important a partner has Miller Lite been over the last 25 years with Team Penske and, of course, the very iconic number 2?
Well, first of all, the relationship between Miller Brewing Company and now Miller Coors and Team Penske actually goes back about 34 years, because the Miller Brewing Company became one of our very first event sponsors when we owned Michigan International Speedway, you'll recall, in the early 80s. So we had a relationship with them on the Speedway side during the 1980s. When the opportunity presented itself in 1990 to partner with Don Miller and Rusty Wallace, Miller was just a natural extension of that because of Rusty's relationship. Over these past 30 years, and specifically 25 years on the racing side, I really think it's interesting to see that the Miller Brewing Company, now Miller Coors, has gone through management changes, has gone through ownership changes, and one of the consistent, stable parts of their marketing program has been the relationship with Team Penske. That tells me that we've delivered, that we've provided the value to Miller, and conversely, that they've done an awful lot for us, helping our drivers in the past elevate their profiles as well as elevating the profile of Team Penske. So it's a great partnership and many more years to come.
Tim, Walt mentioned stability. I know stability and continuity are so important in this sport, and you bring back both driver-crew chief combinations for your team this year. Talk about how successful that made you last year and why it was so important going ahead this year.
Yeah, thanks, Dave. I know I talked about it here last year, where 2014 was really the first time that we brought the same crew chiefs and drivers back since I can remember, really. And, I think that the results spoke for themselves. Obviously, you can't look at last year and expect the same, but we do. We expect to get off on the right foot and continue to build on that. But, I think that although the variables are small, we continue to build continuity in our people. When you look at not only the people, but the product, where we're racing Fords, racing the same cars, same department heads, a lot of the same things. The rules changes. Those are always the things that differentiate you, and the people that you have behind you are the ones that really dictate who gets there first, who learns the fastest. And I think we're at a really good advantage with the people that we have internally, and not only the drivers and the crew chiefs, but also the people back at the shop. Michael Nelson and Travis Geisler and all of our department heads. We just continue, I think, to build better and better people. But the one thing that is different this year is our association with the Wood brothers. And essentially, maybe half the races this year, we'll essentially have a third car on the track with our association there. So hopefully we'll be able to learn faster than what we did last year.
And after two Owners' Championships in the Xfinity Series, big changes over there with Jeremy Bullins going to crew chief at the Wood Brothers. It'd be a shame if you didn't have someone with a little experience to step in and take over the program on the number 22 car, but you do, and we saw a lot of Greg Irwin last year. Talk about how much going forward he is going to be an important component today to try to win that third Owners' Championship. Absolutely, and Greg's been a big part of our organization. Obviously, he raced for a championship there with Sam back in 2013. And last year, so he's been a big part of both of our championships as far as the owner championships in the last 2 years. And, he's ready to move into the 22 and have to deal with all these different personalities, week in and week out with the 3 or 4 different drivers we'll throw at him. But it's a proven group. So I know that Greg's up for the task, and certainly having the same expectation to be up there at the front at the end of the year. And we appreciate the role that Greg's played, not only with the nationwide team in the past, but he's also helped us with the cup testing and that type of thing. And he's invaluable in terms of his experience, and hopefully that continues to pay off for us with the 22 car. Yeah, it'll be fun to watch. Ryan, of course, will be running the majority of the races, and Brad and Joey will be participating as well. So it'll be fun to see what happens there. Brad, 2015 is your what season with Penske Racing now? Sixth? That's hard to believe. It is. A lot of memories there. Good championship back in 2012. But other than that, what's the thing that's really stood out to you over time, over these 6 years at Team Penske?
Well, kind of playing along with what Roger, Walt, and Tim have said, the first thing that came to mind when I sat up here is how sorry I felt for the photographers, because it's the same exact picture you took last year. The same shirts, the same people. The only change is the Ford Performance logo on the shirt. So that really speaks to where we're at as a team and as a company. But boy, it's hard to believe this is my 6th year at Penske. It's been a tremendous ride, and I'm looking forward to the years to come. All of us, driver lineup-wise, I think are set up to be here for years to come. And it's been, like you said, a heck of a ride with winning championships, winning races. I remember when I walked in the door at Team Penske in the fall of 2009. Penske had 3 teams at the time with the 2, the 77, and the 12. And I remember seeing 3 cars parked separate from each other, and all the teams were different. And, one team was in the chase, and the other 2 weren't. And now here we are. We have all of our teams working together very closely. We certainly have more wins than I think we've had in a long time as a team, and probably the best relationships inside the company that I would say probably ever. And I'm just thrilled to be a part of that. We talked about not dwelling on the past, but how does the series of accomplishments you've been through in the last 6 years, how will that apply to 2015 and make you good this year? Well, the continuity is huge. Like I was saying before, as far as how it plays forward, you can't get stuck on the past. And we talk about that all the time here at Team Penske, but we can be proud of it, and we can build a platform off of it. And I think for us, we focus on what we have. And what we have is those strong relationships. And we might not have 8 cars, but we have, I think, 3 of the best. And that's 3 of the best teams. And that makes, I feel like we have an advantage with that. And that's part of our success last year, and I think it'll be part of our success for years to come. Thanks, Brad. Joey, how's married life?
It's going great. I'm
That's the right answer.
I'm on my second ring already, but I got the same girl, so that part's great. So everything's going good.
We were debating earlier today how long he'd be asked that question and how long he'd actually be answering that question. So, no, congratulations. We're glad you're part of this community now. So, but coming off a career season, not just with the wedding, you scored the most wins, most top fives, and most top tens in your 6 years in the sport. What was so different last year that helped you to all those numbers?
Really, last year we didn't have any changes really on our 22 team last year either. And I think just being able to build on the relationship that Todd and I have and throughout the whole 22 team, I think myself learning more of what Team Penske is like and how they go about things and building those relationships up, we were able to use to our advantage this year because it took the first year to kind of understand all that. And this year we were able to, go in there kind of knowing what we're going to be up against, and we came awfully close to winning a championship. So something to be proud of for sure. It's it's an amazing opportunity to be there in Homestead and having a shot at a championship, and I feel like we can take a lot out of that experience and a lot of positives, and we learned a lot that we can hopefully be in the same boat again this year, but a lot more prepared and knowing what we're getting ourselves into when we get there.
You alluded to it a little bit, but your team is very close. And I know the times that I've come up and talked to you guys up in the hauler, it's obvious, it's apparent, you like each other, you like going racing with each other. How does that drive your success?
I think it's key, that all of us are, the 22 teams all, the same level, and it goes across all of Team Penske. We all work really well together. I think, Brad was just talking about how, close the two teams work together. That is very important. Roger's talking about the logo, Team Penske. That trickles all the way down from Roger all the way down to everyone working at the shop, building our race cars. And that is a big deal for us to be fast on the racetrack, and we've shown how important that is. And I think it's something Brad and I work a lot at, is just our relationship together and doing things away from the racetrack. And I think that stuff's important when you're kind of in the heat of the game when things are going on. So I think that team camaraderie throughout Team Penske and the 22 team has been key to our success.
Yeah, makes it fun to cover. Mr. Blaney, second time today we've had you up here on the stage. I hope my questions are different. Here we go. All
right.
You're going to be very busy this year. We mentioned the majority of the Xfinity Series schedule. It was announced earlier today, probably around 18 Sprint Cup Series races with the Wood Brothers and a handful of truck races as well. So with that many things going on, what are you really concentrating on, and will it be difficult to jump from vehicle to vehicle?
Yeah, we've been fortunate to get a great amount of races this year, or in this upcoming season, and all the series, announcing that we're going to run 6 more with the Wood Brothers, bringing us up to 18, and being able to run a lot of nationwide Xfinity races coming up this year, and then a handful for Brad. Nothing full, but they add all up. It's pretty much a full schedule. So really fortunate to be with great teams, and Mr. Penske and Walt and Tim allowing all of us to go, myself and Jeremy and Corey Tucker, to go to the Wood Brothers and have their support over there, and for me to get a lot of Cup experience, and to have Brad and Joey that I can lean on a little bit for these Cup races. So just really fortunate to be with such a great team, great organization that'll let me go do this stuff, and as well as running the Xfinity races too. So really excited for this year, and a lot of racing, and hopefully we can make the best of it.
We saw last year crew chief Greg Irwin lead the part-time team to tie 5 top 5 finishes in just 5 starts. Most of the time you were behind the wheel. So what are you looking for from Greg this year, and what has been his strength in leading you to such success already?
Yeah, Greg has been great to work with. I ran 4 races with him more towards the end of last year in the 12th Xfinity car, and I'm going to get that wrong a lot, by the way.
You and me both, Junior.
Yeah. But Greg Irwin's been a great asset, as Tim was saying before. He's been a great asset to this team, and he was a big part of winning, the 13 and 14 championships. And it was great to get to work with them at the end of last year and have solid runs. We were in a spot to win all those races, and just things didn't play out. But I'm really excited to have him on the 22 car in this upcoming season, and he's been a great guy to work with, and I'm excited to work with him more this upcoming year, and we all are, and I think there's going to be great things to come. Hopefully we can win that 3rd championship in a row, and we're going to do the best we can. I know he will.
Is that okay with you, Mr. Penske, if they go for?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. A lot of championship possibilities up here on the stage, and right now we're going to invite the crew chiefs to join them up here. We want a group photo opportunity for you guys before they leave, and then we're going to go to the breakout sessions, and you can have the rest of your questions answered there. But before they go, we'll have them just step down, and the crew chiefs come up and give you guys a chance to see them all in their best. Thanks for coming today, guys. Appreciate it.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you, Roger. Nice job, Dave. Thank you. Very good. Very good. Come on. All right. Okay. Where are we going? Okay.
While everyone's getting ready for this photo opportunity, on behalf of the Speedway and our members of the media, Mr. Penske would just like to say thank you for your time this afternoon and for your team. Speedway had a good time with these drivers last year. Brad, of course, joined us up in Raleigh to help kick off the chase across North America with Governor Pat McCrory. And we also had the opportunity to have Joey come out and join us at the Speedway and paint our pit road walls pink to recognize the fight against breast cancer during Breast Cancer Awareness Month. So we're looking forward to working more with these guys this year, and we wish you the very best. So, gentlemen, when you're done with your photo, if you'd like to exit toward Megan there on stage right. And then for our media members, please take your time, give them a chance to get to their interview locations. And they will be available until approximately 4:30. So we've got a full 55 minutes. Thank you.